What you are about to see has never been shown to the public. It is raw, real, and heartbreaking. These are the final, unseen moments leading up to a tragedy that changed the face of the British Superbike Championship. On what should have been another thrilling day of motorsport, disaster struck during Monday's Supersport race at Oulton Park. A multi-rider crash involving 11 competitors unfolded in seconds, but the aftermath will be felt for a lifetime. Rising stars Shane Richardson and Owen Jenner were taken from us far too soon. Tom Tunstall was seriously injured, but is expected to recover. For the others, the emotional wounds may take far longer to heal. The paddock fell silent. A sport built on speed and celebration was forced to stop and mourn. The footage you are about to witness is not intended to sensationalize, but to memorialize. To honor two lives who lived and died doing what they loved. It is a reflection on passion, risk, and the heavy price some pay for the pursuit of greatness. Shane Richardson, a man whose journey began on local tracks in New Zealand. He crossed oceans and borders in search of his dream, to compete at the highest level. His rise was anything but easy. A near win in the Superstock 600 Championship in 2019 ended in heartbreak, losing the title by just 6 points after a technical issue in the final race. But Shane never gave up. Over the next few years, he proved himself again and again. In the National Superstock 1000, the British Supersport Championship, and even back home in the New Zealand Superbike Championship. In 2024, his comeback was in full force. 12 top 10 finishes, 9th in the overall standings, a best finish of 5th at Knockhill. His fans were beginning to believe again. His rivals respected him more than ever. Shane was more than a racer. He was a craftsman, a quiet fighter, a role model for what it means to persevere. Then there was Owen Jenner, a different energy, but no less inspiring. Owen was a lightning bolt in the paddock, fast, fearless, full of life. He burst onto the scene with BEM SEE quickly climbing the ranks, a Team Green champion in 2018. By 2019, he was already claiming podiums in the British Junior Supersport Championship. In 2020, he dominated 5 wins, 7 podiums, and a title to his name. He wasn't just winning races, he was building a legacy. Each year, Owen rose higher. In 2023, he became National Junior Superstock Champion, standing on the podium 9 times. In 2024, he moved into the British GP2 class and delivered one of the most dominant seasons in recent memory. 18 wins, 20 podiums, a champion in just his first attempt. The racing world was watching, sponsors were calling. He had just signed with Rapid Honda for the 2025 Quattro Group British Supersport Championship. Everyone believed he could take it all. But in a matter of seconds, dreams turned to disaster. Lives were lost. Futures were erased. This footage, these final moments, they show Shane and Owen doing what they had always done, pushing the limits, riding with precision, heart, and courage. There was no fear in their movements, only focus. No hesitation, only hunger. They were in their element, racing as they always had. The crash itself is not shown out of respect, but what followed shook the racing community to its core. Tributes poured in from across the world. Fans, teammates, officials, even legends of the sport, all united in grief and admiration. The British Superbike Championship said it best. Shane Richardson was dedicated and hard-working in his pursuit of racing motorcycles at a high level. He will be remembered for his commitment both on and off the track to achieve his dream. Owen was described as a larger-than-life character whose smile and energy made him a much-loved friend and competitor within the BSB paddock. The losses of Shane and Owen go beyond statistics, trophies, and race results. They remind us all of the razor-thin line between glory and tragedy in motorsport. They remind us of the risks every rider takes the moment they mount the bike. And most of all, they remind us of the kind of people who chase those risks anyway, not for fame or fortune, but for love, for purpose, for that feeling of flying. In their final race, Shane and Owen were not just competitors. They were heroes in motion, dreamers in flight. They didn't know it would be their last lap, but they raced it like every other, with full commitment. Let us remember Shane Richardson not just as the international racer from New Zealand, but as a man of relentless drive, quiet strength, and global inspiration. Let us remember Owen Jenner not just as the champion in the making, but as a joyful spirit, a fierce competitor, and a bright light gone too soon. Their stories will live on in every paddock, every race, every young rider who dares to follow in their path. Tonight, the track is quiet, but the echoes of Shane and Owen still race through every corner. Their legacies will never slow down, and neither will our remembrance of them. Rest in peace, Shane Richardson and Owen Jenner. You lived like champions. You left as legends. The finish line came too early, but your race lives on in our hearts forever. As the screen fades to black, we are left not just with sorrow, but with gratitude for the memories, for the inspiration, and for the reminder of how precious every moment truly is. In the roar of engines and the silence that follows, Shane Richardson and Owen Jenner will always be there, racing not just on tracks, but in our stories, our tributes, and our hearts. This is not the end. This is how legends begin. Let their journey remind us that greatness is not only measured in victories or titles, but in the courage to chase a dream, no matter the cost. Shane and Owen showed us what it means to live fully, to risk everything for passion, to inspire others with action, and to leave behind a legacy far greater than the number of laps they completed. So as we look back on these final, unseen moments, let us not remember the tragedy alone, but the triumph of spirit, the joy of the ride, and the bravery it takes to chase something bigger than fear. In every future race, their presence will be felt, not as shadows of what was lost, but as shining lights guiding the next generation forward.